Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Derek Augustine about Night Night, available November 16th, psychological thriller, which is going to be out very soon, directed by Nikki Koss. We're also speaking about Godfather of Harlem and Swagger on Apple TV Plus, where he plays Lester Davis as well. Derek, welcome to Popternative. Thank you for being here, man.
Thanks for having me, Peter. I appreciate it, brother.
It's crazy because we talked about before we started. I mean, these are exciting interviews for me because you have a lot of projects to talk about, which is really exciting. You obviously go where the opportunities are, but it's pretty cool that you've been able to do a lot of different projects as well, of different genres, right, Derek?
Yeah, it is, and that's pretty much the life of an actor and the beauty of it.
And but sometimes you never know. You might just work on one genre a lot, right? But you've been able to kind of work on different genres, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, most definitely, and I'm thankful and grateful for the opportunities I've been given and the way that I've been able to, really explore my artistry as an actor.
Oh, absolutely. So we're talking about Night Night, which we said is directed by Nikki Koss, has a great cast as yourself, Brenna D'Amico, Maddie Carter-Opel, Tony Todd, Eric Robertson, just a great cast. There's a lot going on in the thriller horror genre right now. It's an exciting time for that genre. What can you tell us about this film, and what was it like kind of being able to work on a thriller when the genre of thriller right now is so big landscape-wise?
Well, for me, this was my first thriller / horror, and I'm excited. I was very excited. How I got involved is that Nikki and I, at the time, we had the same manager and managers. I'm sorry, and they reached out to me and was like, "Hey, one of our clients, she's directing a movie, and she would love for you to be a part of it." And I read the script, and I was like, "This script is amazing. I want to be a part of this cast, and I want to do it." And this is my first time playing a detective as well. And and we went to this small town in Texas, and we got it done. And cast, crew, and everyone was fantastic to work with. But you're right, this particular genre, it's abundant because it's easy to make, and it's horror thrillers. If you have the right budget, and to be quite honest with you, the industry is a money thing too.
Yeah.
And these are the easiest things to get produced.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why. But ours is different because, man, the storyline and the arc of these characters are specific and enticing, and it's captivating.
Absolutely.
And, and the actors that we have on board too, they're gonna command a great audience.
And it's going to be available November 16th. It's pretty cool, right? You work on a film, then you work on other projects, and talking to a lot of your cast for Night Night, everyone's really excited for it to finally come out. What's it been like, now that there's a release date and it's Calm Before the Storm? What's that like for you, that people are going to get to see it soon?
We were blessed to shoot this before COVID, man. Before COVID was a thing, and we during COVID we took a little break for post production because we were dealing with that with the unfortunate pandemic. But now, since things are up and running now, and things are getting pushed, man, I'm excited to see this film. I've never seen a cut before, so I'm excited to see the film when the audience gets to see it as well on the premiere day. So we'll see what happens, man. I'm excited to see how my character is portrayed. So we'll see.
Absolutely. It's interesting, too, because Derek Augustine is a storyteller. You act, but storytelling is what you do. That's what you do. And it's exciting time with storytelling, and exciting for you with your roles in Swagger and Godfather of Harlem and Night Night. What excites you specifically about storytelling, Derek?
In my earlier days as an actor, my family, it comes from the South, and they're pretty much to the books. And unfortunately, both of my parents passed away at a young age. So my immediate family, as far as my uncles and aunts, who pretty much went by the books. You go to college for this, you work in a company for numerous amount of years, and you move up the ranks, and that's how you become successful. And as a black man, specifically, man, it's really hard for us to make it in America. So I struggled with that when I was in college because as far as it was scary. This is what I want. What this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And how am I going to be successful? And what does acting offer to the world? And it took me a while to really come to realization that storytelling is a part of of freedom, and we give audience a break, and we give audience and viewers an inside view of how we as storytellers portray their favorite characters on the screen.
Yeah.
So we do offer a platform. We do offer it is a tangible source of a job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but for yeah. So for me as a storyteller, it's important for me to be the best storyteller I can be, if that makes any sense.
Oh, 100%. One thing I also got takeaway-wise from what you just said about growing up and everything is I feel like now stories that weren't told before are finally getting told now, which I think is an important part of storytelling as well.
They are, and that's because we had I think a huge shift has finally happened, and unfortunately it took this long.
Yep.
But
It took a while, absolutely.
It took a while, and that's okay because unfortunately, change takes a while, and without struggle, man, there's no progress.
No, absolutely.
So now the industry and producers and directors and studios are learning, unfortunately, the hard way that, man, some particular projects that weren't really viewed as successful before, now, man, these viewers love them. I mean, for instance, look at Squid Games on Netflix.
Yep.
You know, reading that creator's story, it took him years and years for this thing to get made and produced and finally viewed, and it's the #1 show on Netflix right now. So,
the global access to Derek is like insane to me. Like the fact that we're like instantly, because of streaming platforms, like you said, like Netflix, we have access like in a snap of the finger of like amazing international content from like all over the place. Like that
All
to
over
me
the
is
place.
amazing.
Most definitely, and that's important because we get to see other people's cultures and backgrounds, and we get to be indulged in their communities and their stories, which we weren't really accustomed to.
Oh, absolutely. No, 100%. You're on Godfather of Harlem on Epix. I just wanted to quickly, I mean, that's such a great show. That has an amazing cast. What's it like on that show specifically?
Oh,
Working on that
Godfather
show?
Harlem is a beast, man. I think, booking that role, I played Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay,
Yep.
and booking that role, it's not a series regular role, but it's a top of the show guest star. But usually for series regular role, you test producer sessions. It's a plethora of steps. But this role took that amount of work to get there. And
A lot of
at the
research,
time
too?
Was that?
Was there a lot of research specifically with this one?
Just preparing for the
Yeah.
initial audition, man. Research, hours of looking at videos, listening to interviews, his mannerisms, his voice. I think his voice was pretty much the hardest thing to get down. But you want to be authentic as possible when you're playing these iconic characters who are real people, because the world is going to judge you from your performance.
Yeah.
And man, I think Muhammad Ali is the biggest icon, philanthropist, humanitarian, sports icon that ever lived. And that was a lot of weight on my shoulders. And when I finally got to set, man, first of all, being in that role, I definitely took the method approach.
Yeah,
When I was
method
on
acting,
set,
100%.
I had to. I was Muhammad Ali Monday through Friday when we were filming, man. But for me, it hit me when I was in the scene with Forrest Whitaker, and I was just staring. I'm like, man, I am acting across an icon, playing an icon, and it just solidified the fact that I am in my skin. I am in the right career path.
100%. No, but what I find interesting too, to add to that quickly as well, is you're playing Muhammad Ali. You're playing someone that is obviously like one of the most iconic figures in all of sports and everything.
Yes.
And obviously, the first thing that comes to mind is the pressure. Whenever you're playing someone in an adaptation that existed, there's always that pressure to make sure you did it justice and everything. But I feel like the excitement is something people don't talk about as well, when you get kind of casted to play in biopics or play someone like that historical. I mean, I'm sure did the excitement kind of like overtake the pressure a little bit for that role at all?
I think initially it's the pressure, and then when you get on set and like I said, the method thing definitely helped.
Yeah.
I was excited, man. Especially, I think the second day of me working, we did the big gym scene when I go in and I interrogate Doug Jones.
Yep.
And I go in there, it's a lot of extras, and I'm Muhammad Ali, and I walk in, hey Jones, hey ugly, and it's just I'm excited, and when you get to be free and to perform your artistry, man, with no type of people aren't nitpicking on set. They know that you can do this character justice, man. It's just exciting, and that's why I do this every day, and that's why I know that I'm the great actor that I am.
Absolutely.
But I still have I still have a lot more to go.
Yeah, but so far. I mean, and there's another show I want to talk about right now. Do you want to guess which one I want to talk about?
You want to talk about Swagger, man?
On Apple TV Plus, with O'Shea Jackson Jr., Quivision A. Wallace. One of my favorite shows on television right now.
Whoa.
You play Lester Davis. We don't obviously want to go into spoilers and everything because I feel like that show is so good when you go in fresh and there's so much happening. It has to do with youth basketball, and it's produced by Kevin Durant. My question to you, though, we talked about this a little bit like off air, is this is a show, Derek, that in one season tackles so many important issues.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so packed. Like, it's one of the most packed shows I've ever watched, like, ever. You know what I mean? So I'm just curious in terms of, I know you played Lester Davis. I know you had a few episodes here and there. What was it like being part of a show that's so packed with just addressing everything? It's so many important issues, man.
Well, when you have a showrunner like Reggie Brock and you have amazing writers and a talented cast and a young cast who are excited to come to work, man, and you smash those together, you have the outcome that you have, which is a brilliant show. And we have to credit the writers for that, to be able to talk about police brutality, systemic racism, the pressures of being a young black kid from the hood, the pressures of abusive relationships,
sexual assault, absolutely.
Yeah, all that. And once you tie that into one show specifically, and you know how hard it is to tackle that with all these characters in one season.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
Adding COVID to that, and
like,
it's just
No, I'm just saying, like, it's not. I've never seen anything like that before.
Right, exactly.
Right,
And,
like, it's kind of like, I don't know if you've had that conversation. Like, it's done a lot that I haven't seen done before, to be honest with you.
Right. And like I said, we have to credit the showrunner, the writers, and the studios. We have to credit Apple TV, and I'm glad that they they're really pushing to captivate and bring in a younger audience so they can all get acclimated to what's going on.
Yep.
And what unfortunately what's still going on in today's age.
No, absolutely. And like I said, you play an antagonist in this, and not a good dude. Misunderstood in some ways, but not a good dude.
You know what? This is my first time playing an antagonist, man, and that's why I put so much work into that that character, because I wanted it to be. I wanted you to like me, but I also wanted you to hate me. I
didn't really like you at all.
Yes,
at all.
What I'm saying. But you had to understand that, like, the love and the passion I had.
100%.
For the character, and for me, I looked at it in a way as for the love. I wanted you to love me because maybe I don't have the best interests, but I have the best interest for these kids.
Yep.
Because I grew up like them.
Yep.
And really, O'Shea, he's really we were like brothers growing up.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, family we fight sometimes, right? But man, I know my character was a
takes
dog,
turns.
Man.
People just gotta keep watching on Apple TV Plus. I mean, the first 4 episodes are out now. There's more to come. Gotta watch it. Back to Night Night. I'm excited for everyone to see that. What are you hoping they get out of it when they get to watch Night Night?
Oh man, it's so. I want people to really dive into the fact that you have to really be aware of the people around you. Your close ones. I don't want to spoil anything, but that was man. There's a lot of twists and turns in the movie. It always have you on your toes, and it makes you really listen to your P's and Q's. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
I really want people to realize, maybe I can't trust this guy or this girl or this friend or that friend. So we'll see. I'm excited to see it too, man. Like I said, I haven't seen it before, so man.
November 16th, people are going to see it, which is awesome. And Derek, thank you so much for coming on Pop Turnative, man. I really had a great time chatting with you.
Oh, that's it? I thought we were going to go for 2 hours, man. I was ready.
That's what a lot of people say.
No, man. Thanks
Usually I say like it's usually about 12, 15 minutes, but we got on the call for people that don't know, and I was just like, Swagger.
You were very excited about. I wish I could have done more episodes of that, but COVID really it put a little speed bump on filming, but hopefully we get renewed and you'll see a lot more of my character.
Okay, so then, well, since you're challenging me to continue this interview a little longer, I do have two other questions quickly. No, getting back to Night Night a little bit, I mean, this is a film that, like you said, twists and turns. There's just a lot happening. It looks amazing. It's got crazy visuals. You're obviously acting, like that's the main thing you're focusing on right now. But does a project like that excite you for the possible opportunities down the road to kind of go behind the camera more and write and direct? Like that, I feel like is cool when you work on a certain project too, right?
Yeah, I'm a writer as well.
Yeah.
I'm a writer as well. I'm in the process of selling a couple of scripts, and I'm actually finishing up a novel.
Oh, wow.
So, but I tell a lot of young actors, and right now I'm working on it on All American, which is a very. See,
I knew that. I wasn't sure if I could disclose that. I didn't want to be like, yeah, you're on All American.
We can talk about that, man. And I tell the actors on that show, I tell them, man, you got to start writing. You got to start creating content. And if you're a series regular on the show, man, start shadowing directors. I don't care if you don't have any inch of passion to become a director, but shadow them, and maybe you get a chance to direct an episode or two, and that just opens up a whole nother world for you to create your own projects, man.
But I feel like it goes without saying, but man, like I feel like even with me with my show and a lot of my other projects, like the networking is just like the most important thing. Like trying to get like a big network of people that you know, and it's a small world at times because of social media. Like just getting reps and getting out there and helping out and meeting people and asking questions, etc. Like it's huge. Like the networking component is massive.
It is. It's massive, and also. One of my mentors told me this too. You just don't want to be just an actor, because when you go to these events and you're meeting producers and directors, they're gonna look at you, oh, it's just an actor.
Yeah.
You know when you come up with them and they've seen your film or they read one of your projects, it just opens up a different conversation. And for me, you want to follow in the footsteps of the people that you aspire to meet. Denzel Washington, man, he's a director as well. He's a producer as well. Will Smith is a producer as well, and he's getting into directing.
I feel like there's a couple things, though, too, to add to that point, Derek. I mean, I feel like one can make an argument that, like, especially in the entertainment industry, or just if you have your own, content, if you're like a content creator, you're kind of thrown in a situation where, like, you have to wear many hats and you have to do many things. I feel like you don't really have a choice at one point, right? So that's
you have to.
Exactly. Second point is, with that said, there's going to be some components of things that you're going to be strong on. On the other side, you're not going to be as strong on, basically. You're not going to be as good as, like, editing or behind the scenes rather than actually, like, doing the on-camera stuff, right? But you're going to have to learn it. It's not going to be glamorous. So I feel like it's two things. It's like you have to, and it's not going to be fun. It's going to be challenging, but you still have to. You know what I mean?
But that's how important your last statement was about networking.
Yeah.
So maybe you're not the best writer, you're not the best editor, but you have a team around you, have friends around you, a strong support system that can do those type of things and teach you, and you guys can collaborate together and make a beautiful project.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Derek, seriously, unbelievable conversation, and I want to really thank you for your time, man. This was a blast. Night Night, November 16th. Swagger on Apple TV Plus. Godfather Harlem on Epix, and very soon on the CW All American. Busy guy. And then where can people follow you on social media to keep up to date with everything?
You can find me on Instagram and also Twitter, just at Derek Augustine, my first and my last name.
Amazing. Well, this has been Pop Turnative, youtube.com/PopTurnative for previous episodes. You're going to be able to catch Derek Augustine in Night Night, directed by Nikki Koss, starring Brenda D'Amico and another amazing cast as well, November 16th. Until next time, this is Derek Augustine and Petey Beats signing off.
Thanks for having me, man. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.